Many of us are big horror fans and love nothing more than settling down to a scary movie. Yet there is a sense of relief when you turn off the TV, switch on the lights and get back to normal life, to a safer world where there are no killers stalking the halls or demonic entities waiting in the shadows. But should we be so relieved when there are a number of horror movie sets that are said to have been truly haunted? So with that in mind then, I'm Ellie with What Culture here with 10 horror movie sets that were allegedly haunted. Number 10. The Omen. The original Omen is a much-loved classic. However, a remake of this remarkable and disturbing movie was released in 2006. Written by David Seltzer and directed by John Moore, the film didn't, unsurprisingly, quite hit the sweet spot for critics, and it was met with mixed reviews upon release. Still, many horror fans have tuned in to watch it over the years and have enjoyed this fun redo for what it is. Director Moore said that 2 days' worth of footage was destroyed when cameras imploded, and the digital image that appeared when this happened? Error 666. Moore called a technician to have a look at the equipment and was perplexed because he claimed that such an error number does not actually exist on the system. While not evidence of much in itself, the devil's number appearing in a malfunction this way was certainly enough to unsettle the filmmaker, who spoke of the story to various reporters. Number 9. Poltergeist. The fun and creepy classic horror film Poltergeist, released in 1982 and co-written by Steven Spielberg, is one of the most loved horrors of all time. Poltergeist is said to have been plagued with negative energy and bad luck, resulting in accidents and the untimely deaths of some of its stars. In fact, there were allegedly 4 deaths associated with the film. The most well-known of these was 12-year-old Heather O'Rourke, who played Carol Ann in the film. Although many believe she died after the first installment, her death actually occurred after the third was released. She tragically died of septic shock, and her name was forever tied to the bad luck said to plague the franchise. Dominique Dunne, who played the older sister in the film, was killed by her boyfriend at the age of 22. It has been suggested by some that the film was cursed and haunted because of the rumoured use of real human skeletons in certain scenes of the film. Number 8. The Amityville Horror. This horror is based on the alleged true-life account of George and Kathy Lutz, who claimed they experienced a demonic haunting after moving into 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville. The remake, released in 2005 and starring Australian actress Melissa George, was received well upon its release, and reports suggested the activity during filming was as creepy as the true-life account itself. During the production of the film, Ryan Reynolds, who played George Lutz, said a lot of the crew kept waking up at 3:15 a.m., the exact same time as the character he was playing was being haunted by demonic entities. Reports that a dead body washed up by the set as shooting of the production commenced was perceived by many to be a bad omen also. Number 6. The Exorcist. Probably one of the most iconic and revered horrors of all time, The Exorcist has been plagued by rumours of curses, deaths, and haunted sets over the years. There were reports of several incidents and issues on set during filming, which allegedly put production behind schedule and over budget. A fire damaged the scene of the McNeil house, which, despite causing burns to much of the set, left Reagan's room perfectly intact. Both Linda Blair and Ellen Burstyn were alleged to have suffered painful injuries to their backs on set, and even more worrying were a spate of deaths associated with several of the cast and crew members. Whatever you believe, The Exorcist is probably one of the most infamous horror films of all time, and it doesn't take much to see why the dark events that occurred during production left people wondering if something dark was truly at play. Number 5. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Directed by Scott Derrickson, it is based on the allegedly true-life account of Anneliese Michel, a German student who was said to have been possessed by several demons. The lead actress, Jennifer Carpenter, of US drama series Dexter, reported the feeling of being followed around the set, and at one point believed that an entity had followed her home. She said that her radio would turn itself on in the middle of the night. This happened several nights in a row and would always play the same song. That song allegedly was Pearl Jam's Alive, and what was especially creepy was the song would always repeat the same phrase, "I'm still alive." Whether there was something demonic or ghostly attached to this horror fan favourite or not, the movie is highly creepy and definitely worth a watch. Number 4. The Possession. The Possession is a supernatural horror that was released in 2012 and follows the story of a young girl whose behavior changes dramatically after her dad purchases a gift for her from an estate sale, an old and unusual box, which turns out to be a Jewish Dybbuk box housing a negative energy. The interesting thing about The Possession is the fact that it is said to be based on a true story, that of the account of Jason Haxton, who in real life purchased a Dybbuk box on eBay and was plagued with bad luck and supernatural occurrences in his home as a result. But it doesn't seem like the horror was limited to Haxton, because rumours of the set of The Possession being haunted and/or cursed were soon reported after filming was wrapped. There were reports of lights repeatedly blowing during production and cold, unexplained winds blowing on set. Creepier than that was the fire affecting the storage unit used to house the film's props, including the replica of the Dybbuk box, and everything in it was allegedly destroyed. No cause could be found after the investigation. Spooky. Number 3. The Omen. Now, of course, we have already spoken about the remake in 2006, but rest assured the original release has enough frightening occurrences of its own. The movie, as most of you know, follows the story of the Antichrist and how he tears apart the lives of those around him. The fictional horror perhaps attracted something dark to the set, though, as some truly dark occurrences are alleged to have taken place. Amongst them is the account of the animal trainer who was hired to work with the baboons in the zoo scene. He was killed by a tiger the day after shooting the scene he was helping to produce. Actor Gregory Peck and writer David Seltzer experienced lightning striking their planes on 2 separate trips. Perhaps the most unsettling account associated with the haunted production was the death of the special effects supervisor's girlfriend, who was traveling with him when she was beheaded in an accident. Number 2. Rosemary's Baby. Since its initial release in 1968, Rosemary's Baby has been considered a classic of the horror genre, creating chills and rating high on the spooky factor for audiences across the world. Telling the story of a young pregnant woman and her husband, Rosemary's Baby is a tightly woven tale of the demonic, the occult, and the arrival of the devil into the modern world. Amongst several of the accounts which leave fans wondering if something dark was attached to the production was the death of the man responsible for the soundtrack, who reportedly fell off an escarpment after the movie was finished shooting and sadly died soon after. William Castle, the producer of the film, suffered with painful kidney stones after the project wrapped up, which allegedly caused him to have repeated hallucinations of scenes from the movie. As if all that wasn't enough, the building where Rosemary's Baby was set, the Dakota, was said to have been a haunted building with a lot of twisted history. But that's a tale for another day. Number 1. Annabelle. Based on a true case from demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren, Annabelle is a haunted doll, a vessel for a dark, demonic energy that has attached itself to the toy. Dark tales of a haunting and curse attached to the production were quick to follow the release of Annabelle. Amongst these was the account of the director, John Leonetti, who claimed he witnessed 3 finger marks appear along the dust in a window. He said it spooked him because it reminded him of the 3 fingers talons of the demon in Annabelle. The director also said another incident had frightened him, saying, "The first day that the demon was shooting in full makeup, we brought the demon up in the elevator. He walks out and walks around to the green room to where we're holding the talent, and just as he walks under, a giant glass light fixture is being followed by the actor playing the handyman of the building. And all of a sudden, the entire glass light fixture falls down on his head, the janitor's head. And in the script, the demon kills the janitor in that hallway. It was totally freaky."